Hey y'all, in my last video, I talked all about how to plan using a vertical layout. And the response from you guys was so strong that I'm back here again today where we're gonna talk about another fan favorite, the horizontal planner. If you didn't catch that first video about vertical layouts, no worries. I'll link it in the description down below, so make sure to go ahead, check that out for any products or things that I talk about here in this video and to make sure that you are up to date on my thoughts about vertical planners. Maybe today you're on the hunt for a new layout, or you're about to start using a new planner layout, or maybe you're just curious about how others use their horizontal layout. Either way, today's video is all about the horizontal layout, different ways and ideas that I've seen people use it, that I've used it, some pros and cons, and well, why ultimately it's so popular. Before we jump into today's video, if you are a horizontal planner user, please let us know in the comments let's think about this one. What horizontal planner are you using and why do you love the horizontal layout? Hey y'all, it's me, Lauren, here with Plan with Laur. If you are new here, welcome. I am your go-to gal and your best friend when it comes to all things planning, productivity, and how to use the resources that you have to plan today for a better tomorrow. A question I get asked all the time: how do you pick the right planner? And we all know that that's a very loaded question. When you buy a planner, it's something that you're hoping to spend a lot of time and energy using. And one of the many categories to think about when choosing a planner is what layout is going to be the best for you. Now, the horizontal layout is something that's pretty much a staple for every single brand. I will say that most popular brands, you'll always be able to find a horizontal layout. And from my personal, all the years of investigative journalism that I've done, have seen horizontal planners in pretty much any Walmart, Target, dollar store, anything like that. And while the horizontal layout aesthetically changes a little bit from brand to brand, there are some key commonalities that we can chat about. Now, first off, I think it's important to mention that the horizontal planner is basically the opposite of a vertical planner, because instead of planning top to bottom, you're going to be planning from left to right, with the days of the week stacked up from the top to the bottom of the page. To fit all of the days on the page, a lot of weekly planners are going to go ahead and have 2 full pages full of horizontal boxes for you to go ahead and plan out your day. Now, the horizontal layout, as in all planner layouts, is a super versatile one because it's flexible, as in you can do whatever you wanted on a day-to-day. However, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. I do think that one thing that is very limiting in horizontal layouts is that I think of the 3 planner layouts that I'm going to be talking about here in the series, which is vertical, horizontal, and hourly, I think it's the least flexible. And I say that because in many planner brands, you are going to see lines in your horizontal layout. We call that a lined horizontal week. It's exactly what it says. Now, there are definitely some brands who leave that space completely blank. And I think that that feature is really a love it or a hate it aspect. Some people love having lines for structure. Others would prefer it open to be able to do whatever they wanted into it. Doodle, add stickers, whatever it may be. Ultimately, it's up to you and what you prefer, but I do see that as a little limiting in my personal opinion when it comes to the vertical. We find that the horizontal planner tends to be something that people who are very task-oriented are drawn to. And what I mean by this is if you are someone who wants to know exactly what you have to do and when you have to do it, then maybe vertical or even specifically an hourly is going to be a lot better for you. But if you're just someone who wants to make a list of things that have to go out on the day, or just really wants to highlight some of the key tenets of what's going on in your day, then horizontal may be the best for you. It's a little bit more unstructured in the sense that it doesn't necessarily have space to put your day chronologically, so you're not being able to kind of move in those ways throughout your planner. However, that level of unstructuredness, is that a word, unstructuredness? But anyway, in that level of unstructuredness, you are then able to go ahead and change up what you do. You can list by task, you can list by order of importance, you can list by hours throughout the day. Again, we're always kind of playing in this middle ground between structure and unstructure, and I think this is why it's so important when we talk about different ways to use a planner, but it really comes down to using different strategies that are going to be the most simple, realistic, motivating, and fun for you to actually go ahead and use in your planner. All right, so there's my thesis on horizontal planners. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But next, let's dive into different ways that you can go ahead and use your horizontal planner, or maybe hopefully there are some ideas if you are already a horizontal planner user on ways to try out a couple different new things. The first idea is the easiest. It's to turn your horizontal planner into a command center for your life's many to-dos. Maybe I'm biased because this is how I plan many of my days, but planners are at its core just a great central place for us to focus on the most important priorities and to-dos for our days. And the horizontal layout is kind of a built-in to-do list, especially if you have one of those horizontal lined planners. You can create multiple columns using the vertical line breaks, which gives the appearance of distinct categories. So if you have work to-dos versus home to-dos, this is a great way to accomplish that. You're limited somewhat by the number of lines. Most planners I see have about 5 or 6 lines per day. So if you have a huge to-do list, I'm not sure that this would work for you, but if you guys are anything like me and you are sticky note connoisseurs and lovers, this is a great way to be able to incorporate sticky notes into your planning. It's my favorite planning tool. And piggybacking off of that idea, you can also generate a ton of flexible ideas using those vertical line breaks. My personal favorite, and what I think are some of the most innovative horizontal planner creators, will use these vertical line breaks in great effect. Some planner brands even do this for you by shading the middle portion of each day. But honestly, this is pretty rare. With the line break like this, you get to decide how many columns you need. Let's say one a day, it's just 2 columns, one for meeting and one for to-dos. The next day it's 4 columns, meetings, to-dos, priorities, and notes. Truthfully, you get to decide how you want to break it up. And I think it's a really neat idea to be able to maximize efficiency with space. And for me, I really love that idea, and then like sprinkling in a couple stickers or 2. All right, and another idea for different ways that you can use your horizontal planner is the way that I use mine. So if you guys saw in my I quit my 2021 planners, lots to unpack there, but in that video I talked about my new current lineup, and one of them I'm actually using the Erin Condren A5 horizontal planner as a journal. So I'm using it as a journal. Sometimes it's daily gratitude, sometimes it's my I am statements, really just depends on the day to day. The horizontal lines are conducive to writing out 5 I am statements, for example, if you're doing daily affirmations. Or you could write a quick paragraph check-in in the morning with your goals. You know, I use my horizontal planner as a part of my evening routine, where I journal out a paragraph outlining my day, how I'm feeling, and anything worth remembering. And if I don't get to it in the evening, that's where I'll use it in the morning, where I'll really do a lot more of those I am statements. So the reason that planners help me stay more consistent in my journaling is personal, but it is for 2 reasons. The first one, it's dated. And you might say, why don't you just put a date in your journal or your notebook? You know, why would you use a planner? And for me, I'll just say it helped me stay more consistent. Help me stay consistent to see every single day there's a space. And if I miss a day or 2, it's easy for me to go back and quickly fill that in. I also really love being able to look at a glance and see what was going on in my life at a certain week and a very certain time. It's also really valuable for me personally because I do a lot of scrapbooking and a lot of memory keeping, and being able to have short synopsis or what happening every single day. The planner was just for me the perfect use of that. I can also use the additional notes pages and extra, you know, dashboard pages or goal setting aspects in the planner as well to like map out what I want for my memory keeping and different things like that. And the second reason is because journaling intimidates me. Yeah, can't lie about that. Something I've said here and there on this channel, but journaling has always been something that's intimidated me. It's been something that I have felt a lot of pressure around doing because you see all of these Instagram accounts and all of these people saying that journaling is so beneficial, which it is. I'm not saying it's not, but for me, I always felt that I wasn't doing it right. I would look at a blank paper and I would say, what the heck am I supposed to write? I would get so overwhelmed looking at this piece of paper that I would never even start. And so you guys know I'm all about simple and practical resolutions. And so what I found in a horizontal planner, especially mine, which is an A5 size, is that that little section is enough for me to journal. It's enough for me to write out how I was feeling, what was going on in my life, and any major thoughts that I was doing without this pressure to write a full page worth and decorate it or not decorate it or do whatever. And guess what? Journaling is such a personal practice for every individual, that you might look at that space and be like, wow, that is not enough to be able to encapsulate my thoughts. But for me, for someone who is starting out a new journaling practice, who didn't really know what to do and could never find consistency, y'all, I've been consistent in my journal every single day since the start of April, which is the longest that I have ever truthfully journaled. So this is a system that's working for me, and it's something that I'm gonna go ahead and stick with. Let's talk about another reason or way that you can use a horizontal planner, and it's a great planner to decorate your planner in. The horizontal layout, especially the lined horizontal, isn't maybe as conducive to using stickers as the vertical layout, in my opinion, but I've seen some of the most beautiful decorative planner layouts, so it's not impossible. I personally see the horizontal layout as a much more functional layout rather than a decorative layout, but your mileage may vary. That might change from person to person. I get a lot of inspiration from people who plan in verticals, but it's been a lot of fun experimenting with the decorative side of using a vertical layout, because there are just, as with any planner, so much possibility that it comes down to, and I'm excited to continue to experiment with a horizontal planner, something that I can admittedly say I'm not the most experienced in, but I hope that this provided you with a lot of different ideas. Pretty much every single planner brand that I've come across, like I said, offers an option for horizontal planning, and that way it's extremely versatile because you can go from brand to brand and still have consistency in the type of layout that you prefer, especially if you wanted to try out something new. Remember, there are also so many ways you can use the vertical line breaks to break out your day into categories. You can do to-dos, you can do appointments, you can journal, you can write gratitude. There's always I am statements. Overall, as with everything, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and I hope that this video provided you some ideas. That being said, I've had a lot of fun using this Erin Condren A5 planner to experiment with the vertical layout, and like I said, still using my Erin Condren softbound as my personal journal. So we're just here to keep playing around with horizontal layouts. So we talked about a whole bunch here. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite thing about horizontal planning or horizontal layouts? All right, y'all, now that is all that I have for you guys today. If you are new here, welcome. I hope that you will decide to stick around by hitting that red subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday and Thursday. Like I said, check the link in the description for any products or videos that I mentioned here in today's video, as well as a way to contact me so we can get to know one another. As always, y'all, my name is Lauren here with Plan with Laur, and I'll see y'all next time.